So the last section we talked about prompt templates. We saw some of the use cases of prompt templates, right? So now in this section, we're going to be talking about chains. We're going to be seeing what a chain is, how to use Langchain, how to chain multiple steps, and we'll also understand the flow of data. So what really is a chain? A chain in Langchain is a sequence of steps or components that process data one after the other. Each step typically involves an LLM, a prompt, a memory, a tool, an agent, and so on. Let's say you're building an AI to write a blog post. You need to generate the blog idea, you need to write an outline for that idea, write a blog intro, suggest a title, and then format it nicely. Each of these is a step. You have to code the LLM manually. With chain, it is just like building a pipeline. You plug one component into another. So now we'll be creating a simple LLM chain that will be calling our LLM models for us. We don't need to call these models manually. We'll just create an LLM chain that does it. So let's get started. In the last video, we created a prompt for cover letter, but now we're going to go a bit further. We're going to be creating an email that we'll be using that cover letter to write an email to the hiring manager. Now to do this, we need to put it in a chain so that it can go through a sequence. Once it's done creating the cover letter, it will then go and create the email. First of all, we have to chain each step before we can create the sequence chain. So let's start with chaining our cover letter. So let's go to code now. Let's say from Langchain, Langchain.chain, import. First of all, we're going to import Langchain. We're also going to import SequentialChain. Alright. Now let's try and change the cover letter. Let's say cover letter, cover underscore letter underscore chain be equal to Langchain. So I guess we specify some in Langchain. Let's specify the model. So LLM will be equal to model. We're also going to specify the prompts, which is our prompt templates. And of this we don't need it. Okay, so now we're going to specify this. I get to specify one more thing that we'll be using for our email, which is our outputs. So outputs, what it's called key, that will be equal to cover letter. Now that we have changed the cover letter, the next step will be actually to change, to create our email and also change our email. So let's run this first. So there's the arrow. Oh, so this, I need to add chains. So yeah. So now the next step is for the email. First of all, for the email, we have to create the email prompt. So let's say email underscore prompts. Now for email prompts, let's say using the cover letter, right? It should write a professional email. So professional email pseudo the hiring manager. Now we're going to tell it, give you some instruction. Let's tell it to keep it concise, light, and maybe suitable for job application, and suitable virtual application. So you can specify these cover letter we're actually using. So cover letter will be this cover letter. That is our output we are getting from this chain. Alright, so let's put this down. Now after creating our base prompt, the next thing is to create our prompt templates. So let's say email underscore templates that will be equal to as a prompt templates. For the prompt template, I give it two elements, right? Inputs, variables, and our template. So input variable is this cover letter, then our template is our base prompts. All right. Now for the next thing is to create a chain for this email. Let's select email hyphen chain. The imports, so just exactly the same way we did here. The model, the prompts, then our output key will be the email. That is, the output key is what actually we're getting for the LLM, and that is the email. Now the next thing is to put all these in sequence so that it can actually go in sequence. After the cover letter will be the email chain. So to do that, first call is full underscore chain, and that will be sequential chain. Sequential chain. All right. So for the sequential chain, there are some things that we need. We need to specify chains. We need to specify our chains. All right. And next, we need to specify our input variable. And we also need to specify our output variable. So these are the elements we need in the sequential chain. So after this, for this input variable, we need to spell them out. So let's say input, spell it input, and the purport to there's something name. Let's say this is the person, role, job role, company, yeah. Okay. Now let's try and output this to see if we are able to get what we want. So let's say output will be equal to full underscore chain. That's in work. Now we are using inputs. So first let's bring the cover letter and let's bring the email. And let's try and run this. See if it actually does what it is meant to do. Alright, so this is our cover letter. Then once it was done generating the cover letter, it generated the email. So this is the use case of chains. Chains help us integrate and connect our workflows. Right? You don't need to start calling each of these LLM manually. Maybe once it's done generating a cover letter, we will now pass the cover letter to it manually and ask it to generate an email for us. So with Langchain, it does everything automatically. I'll see you in the next video.